Get up there, boy.
So yeah, a bit about where did I start. So I grew up most of the time around here. I was born in Grimsby, believe it or not. Shithole, but yeah, that's where most of my family's from. A few other bits of family elsewhere, and I grew up mainly in my kidult kind of growing up around Retford, Ranskill. Yeah, I used to terrorise Ranskill a little bit, which is a little village just down from here. So I got kicked out of school in started like year 11. I got kicked out of school just because I was just a little bastard. I was just a little bastard. And do you know what? I actually get on with the school teachers now, and they actually liked me at school. They were like, "You're just a lovable rogue." I was just fucking hated school.
What was Arron like growing up as a child? Mischievous, very mischievous.
Naughty.
Naughty, but never over the top with it. You know, he didn't go around breaking windows, bringing the police at the door every 5 minutes. Nothing like that.
He was good at hiding it.
Yeah.
But I think as well, what makes it different is Arron did leave home early because he went into the RAF. Then when he left the RAF, he didn't come home to live. He had a home there, but he sort of made his own home wherever he wanted to be at his mates, or shared a flat or whatever. So he was quite independent from literally leaving home, because he had to be 16 and a half before he could go into the RAF. So up to from leaving school to the RAF, he sort of like knew he knew he was going in the RAF. Didn't like it. He really didn't like the RAF. Came out.
He didn't like the bullshit that went with it. Okay, Arron can cope with discipline. He just can't stand bullshit discipline. You know, when people are just disciplining you for discipline's sake, just to prove a point. He doesn't like that.
So
if you say Arron, and he would follow rules. If you say, if I ever said to Arron, "Don't do that, son," because he didn't do it. All right. If in the military they said, if they explained things to him, he'd do it. I mean, we went to his passing out parade. It was fantastic. So he obviously learned something to get to that point, right? It's just the bullshit that went with it. He couldn't cope with that. And I think that probably had something to do because he was diagnosed with ADHD in the RAF.
I always used to get beat up, so I was tiny. I used to just fucking, my mouth ears out. Still am, really. And then, yeah, we used to, just terrorise people at that age. And then I went into the army. So my dad was in paras. He was in the 2 para, my dad, and he was like, you'll never make it in army because you just don't listen. So I was like, right, I'm fucking going in army. Well, I didn't actually. I was going to go in army. I went in RAF. So I went in and I've got a good story about that actually. So I went in there and I was just always fucking about in there as well. I didn't like being told what to do, and they were always telling you what to do. So I was a bit like just rebelling against them. And so cut a long story short, I'm in there. I was boxing in the army. I even lied about boxing in the army because I'm not a great boxer, but I can have a fight. And they were like, "Oh, have you fought before?" I was like, "Oh, yeah, I've had loads of fights." And so anyway, I got boxing for them. They were like, "You've not had any fights before, have you?" I was like, "No, but I want to have a fight." So they were getting me into it, and I was sound. I was having boxing fights for them, and then I was playing football for the actual station as well. But then I kept getting into trouble, so I've got a really good story. So here, Hugo, come. Sit, get here. So what happened is I didn't have a car at the time, and my warrant officer, I actually saw him the other day, and I've got a picture of him, so I'll show you. I actually saw him the other day because I went to see him, and he was like, a lad that follows me through BKFC, he's at a station where he's at the minute. So he rung me and he was like, "Mate, I've been watching your fights. I'm so happy for you. I knew you'd come good." So I was always scrapping in there. I was fighting with like the fire force and that in there. There used to be like a naffy in there, and I used to be always fighting in there. Just a little shit basically. But anyway, so I didn't have a car. So anyway, I've ended up nicking the cars from the station all the time. And I didn't get caught out for ages. So I'm there, everybody's finished work on a Friday, and I'd go and fucking pinch one at cars from the station. You know, which is fucking bang out of order, and like people were like, "What the fuck are you doing? You're mad, you." So I'd nick one at like forces, army cars, I drive back to Retford, I fucking get on it in Retford and that, have the time of my life. I started going AWOL on that. So I'd just come home to Retford and I loved it that much. I got in with the lads that I like hang around with and that, and I thought, this is fucking mint. Started like living at that, you know, that Broadstones I told you about. I was like living above there. I was like, this is fucking ace, I'm not going back there. So anyway, I gets back to, kept taking the car back off at weekend, putting it back where it was, hiding keys. And then anyway, one day, I've gone to nick this car again, and you have to go into this like hangar where all cars were. And I've gone in, like sneaked in, fucking snuck through one, however I got in, I can't remember. And as I'm just about to get into the car, boom, lights went on. Who was stood there? John Locking. John Locking stood there like, what the fuck do you think you're doing? And I tell you now, he was an handy bastard, he was. He was an horrible, horrible warrant officer. But he liked me. He went, you best get out of this fucking hangar now. And I fucking, boom, dashed out hangar. I thought, shit, I've been caught nicking cars. And he pulled me into office, and he could have literally fucking thrown the book at me there, like nicking cars from fucking RAF. So I was like, look, sorry, I fucking, and he was like, and he just went, you just remind me of me, you do. He went, but I can't have you doing it. And he'd give me, I can't remember what he did, but he gave me a right horrible punishment. You know, where it was like, right, go and clean that plane, and then clean it again, and it would just wank. But he could have literally put me in jail for that. Do you know what I mean? He could have put me in army jail or like combined service. It's called like Colchester. And then, so as I was in there, I kept getting in bits of trouble, and he and another one of my like lieutenants kept coming to court. So I was in and out of court, fucking literally every week, mate. Every week it was something else. It was this, it was that, it was scrapping here, doing that. It was just like town centre fighting all the time, and stupid really looking back on it. But they used to come to court to like represent me, so that's why I got away with a lot. Fucking half at lads around here used to think I was a grass, because I'd go to court for GBH and come out with fucking tag. So I got put on tag, like stuff like that. So I was in and out. I ended up getting kicked out of the RAF. Not kicked out, but basically I got sent to prison for the first time when I was like 18. No, was it? Yeah, 18. I only got 3 weeks or 4 weeks. Or I only did 4 weeks. So yeah, but they came to me and they went, look, and he took me into a room and he just went, mate, I'm going to tell you how it is, like, I've pulled a favour here. It's not going to go down on your record as that you've been dishonourably discharged. It's just going to go on as a medical discharge, because I broke my hand, and I couldn't at this time, because I broke my hand, I couldn't fire the rifle. So he found a way for me, do you know what I mean? And he really looked after me. And that's why I still see him today. And he's still like the same man that he was sound. But yeah, because I injured my hand, he put it down as a medical discharge. So I got sent to prison, like a young offenders, come out, more, I just kept fighting. Like police were always knocking on my door at stupid o'clock. It was like, once I'd got a bit of a name, everybody was like trying to test me, and I was just fighting all the time. It was stupid, really. I look back on it now and I'm just so embarrassed with it. But yeah, so then I got kicked back into prison. So I was in prison from like 20th and stuff like that. God, I was in it. So in total, I think I'd received about 2.5, 3 years received, but done a bit less. So then anyway, when I come out, I went travelling. Went to like Malia for a couple of seasons. That's where I like met all like a couple of DJs and that I knew out there. They were fucking immense. That were good immense times. Met Gemma, and then we've been with Gemma ever since, really. So we've just been in and around Retford, but fucking hell, Gemma's seen some shit through me. Honestly, she has, like, fucking just. I was on tag when I proposed to her, so it was Christmas Eve, one of my birthdays, and I was like, right, I'm going to propose to her. So this is a good story actually. So I've got this ring out and that, and I put it in the we had a Chinese, my mum and dad were around, and I've put it in this fortune cookie. So she's pulled it out, she's like, how the fuck do they know my name? It says that Gemma, like, I love you so much and stuff like this. And then anyway, proposed to her. I thought, right, I'll go outside and I'll set some fireworks up. So I was shit me, and I used to just do everything by half. So I just stuck this firework in the ground, yeah? gone to light it, it's only snapped, fucking flew off, hit my missus and set a dressing gown on fire. Full dressing gown's on fire, but I'm like this at door, so I didn't want to go out with my tag on. I'm like, put a dressing gown on. Fucking going mad. So yeah, like we got engaged and stuff like that. But you see some shit like, I'd get police bringing me home. I was just a menace. I'd go out, fucking get off my head and whatever, and then just be at it all the time. So then I've actually calmed down and settled down a bit. Obviously what happened all with me and Gemma, we split up and stuff like that. We got back together and I went a bit off at rails and stuff, and that's when, like, I don't know, I thought, I used to always go out in Retford and think I had loads of mates around here, and I told you, Heston, I won't have. And most of my mates, like yourself, like Rico, like Danny, like Deck, there's loads. Even like Danny, Christie and all them, everybody that I speak to and that I'm friends with, they're mainly from out of town, because around here, people think they know me, or, I don't care though, do you know what I mean? I'll have a lot of people that probably don't like me from my past, or, do you know half of people, they won't even know why they don't like me, they'll just don't like me, do you know what I mean? Because it's just the personality I am. I'm quite outspoken, I'll tell you how it is. If I think you're a dick, I'll tell you you're a dick. If you think I'm a dick, sound. I'm just a bit different really, and I don't care, I am who I am. And I know that there are people out there that don't like me, but half the time, there's a lot of people out there that I think we're mates, they think they're my mates, and even they won't like me. But it's just how they're jealous of me a bit, because I've always tried something myself, I've always, do you know what I mean, I'll have whatever, I don't care. But the mates I have got are solid. So, like I say, a lot of my mates are from out of town now, but yeah, so that's about where, in short, how I've got to where I am. How did I get into fighting? I did bits and bobs, you know what I mean? I've always done bits and bobs, boxing and nothing major really. And then I started training MMA because my mate did it. And with 8 weeks, I was like, right, I want to fight. Just got myself bashed up. Fucking, I was all right, stood up, and then it was just kicking me. Oh, I think I had to get like crutches or something to walk out, because my leg was just black. I thought it was easier than what it was, so I soon got found out there. So, and then I just always wanted to stand up and fight. So I started training at Rico's. This is cutting a long story short, basically. Started training up at Rico's, so I seen it open the gym, and I'd followed Rico all the way through. Been sort of mates with him through all this, but mainly because I was watching his fights. I used to train with him and stuff, and I knew who he was. But then I started getting really close to Rico through when I was back training. Like, we used to do loads together. We still do, do you know what I mean? And yeah, so he just come up to me one day. I can remember it now. He was like stood at his car. He was like, you should definitely try a bare-knuckle fight. You were like, fuck that, man. I was like, fuck that. I says, I'll have a fight with any man. But at this time, I'm calmed in my life. Do you know what I mean? I've got no stress. I'm not fighting anymore. So if it was like fucking 10 years ago, I'd be like, fucking too right, pal, let's go. But at this point, I'm probably like a bit chilled. I'm like, fuck fighting, mate. Fucking, I can't be arsed with it. And then as I've like drove off, I'm like, I fucking love a bare-knuckle fight, mate. And I'm thinking to myself, I love it. And then it went on, and then 2 weeks later, we were sort of like, right, should we get one book then? And he was like, right, they've sent me someone across for you. It's at Naffigs, and he goes, I looked at it, mate. He goes, I've looked at it. He goes, I've not even looked at it long. He goes, I've looked at it for 10 seconds. He goes, you'll wipe him out. I went, really? And he's like, yes, mate, you've got to have more ability, belief in yourself. So I was like, fine, we're training. Obviously, that went well. I was absolutely shitting myself, in the hotel room the night before. And Rico was like, mate, you're doing my fucking head in. Will you shut up? So I'm like, right, I'll slip the punch there. What's it feel like if you get punched here? And he was like, are you fucking real? He's like just doing his head in. And then obviously that went how it did. And then the next fight, I was like, I didn't get the nerves that I got. Do you know, I didn't get the nerves that I got with the first fight. Building up to it, I didn't have all these butterflies here or like that. So I sort of knew it was coming. And then that went how it did. But, obviously everyone in the BKFC, well, not everyone. I've heard a few people like, yeah, but you haven't fought anyone. You haven't fought anyone yet. And I'm like, well, let me just tell you straight, right? The first kid I fought, he had experience in bare-knuckle. He'd had a bare-knuckle before. He might have had two, right? So that's always a big advantage. I said also, he went 5 rounds and got a draw with a lad called George Thorpe, who's supposed to be a up and coming in the BKFC. Yeah, supposed to be like, yeah, whatever he is, but he got a draw with NAF. Okay, so that's like telling me that he's got a bit more experience, and I've just wiped him out in 50 seconds. He didn't want none of it. Didn't want absolutely none of it. Don't get me wrong. I think he fractured about. I think did you say he fractured something here or something like that? Someone told me that they went in and he fractured his cheekbone or something like that. So yeah, whatever. This next one was with Christian Nadolski, which I was at Retford, and the promoter came up to me, Bakewell, and he said that, you know, it's going to be a tough test for you. This he's in best shape of his life. He's been training like mad, and yeah, it was like fucking at breakfast. I was like, fucking hell. So, but I got him out of there inside a minute, and he'd fought Liam Wilson before, and so he'd had experience. So don't get me wrong. Now I don't want to be fighting anyone like that. I want whoever now. I've heard names. I'll have anybody. I'll have absolutely any one of them. I'm looking forward to fighting the best in this division, and I do think they should have belts in every division in the UK. So it gives you like a domestic title to go at, because you want milestones. Do you know what I mean? You want milestones. You want to win your own belt, and then you want to be thinking, right, well, let me start challenging for another belt. So yeah, my short-term goal is to try and win that UK belt. So I've seen my division. There's a lot of lads in there, but the minute my next fight, I know. I've told a few people I know I'll finish it in first round, because I want to become the first person in the BKFC to have 3 fights, 3 first round wins. So I've sort of got something to go at now. I mean, get the rounds in, yeah, but fuck that. Get 3 first round knockouts. That'd be better. And I know I'll do it. I've just got this second belief at the minute. Like, I just think, right, fuck it. I'll honestly fight whoever, and I'll probably shine more fighting someone that can have a fight, because it'll look good. But yeah, I just think I've got a bit of a game plan in my head already for whoever it is. And I just know, I can see it now. I can see getting that first round win. I just know I'll do it. And then hopefully you get a bit of a respect on your name. Not saying that now, because I've got a lot of people that, you know, say that I've done well. So that you'll always get the hate. You're like, but you haven't fought anyone. Oh, fucking hell. Sorry, I can't decide who I fight. I just stick it. Obviously, they're not going to just chuck anyone. But now, guaranteed next time is going to be a household name or somebody that everybody knows. So, listen, I'll show respect to anyone, but unfortunately, you're fucking getting it. Simple as that. I'm friends with Bare-knuckle. I talked to him. I think he's a good fighter. And, you know, if he carries on staying at the top of the division one day, we're going to have a fight. I know we are, because that's where I'm heading. And I know I'll win my next one. And then probably after that, if he's still at the top, it's probably going to have to be him next, isn't it? But I like Bare-knuckle. I think he's a good guy. He's good friends with David Oscar, and I like both of them. We get on really well. And if that was a fight to be made in the future, there'd be no animosity there. I like them all. Do you know what I mean? But he's not the kind of guy to do it. I like to wind people up, but I've got a lot of respect for him, and what will be, will be. But yeah, Bare-knuckle's a good fighter, mate. He's a good fighter. I've obviously got Anthony Holmes got a bit of luck in that last fight. I didn't quite catch a full fight, as I said to you yesterday. But from what I hear, it was going very close. So what I hear, it was going quite close to fight, and obviously we all know that Anthony Holmes want himself. He had a book, whatever. Bare-knuckle didn't know that. Do you know what I mean? Bare-knuckle did his business. I like both of them. I mean, Anthony Holmes apparently is in the division as well now, and there's other thing. But I'm not looking too far. I'm not even doing anything yet. I'm looking into myself. Right, where do you want to be? What do you want to do? And that's all I'm looking at. And then when the names come, I'll go from there. And then I don't want to be looking now. Right, I'll fight him now. Look at that. Fuck that. Get training hard. Soon I'm going to start ticking over training as I have been now. And then my shoulder surgery and whatever. And then I'm full game. So it's good. It's a good place to be at the minute. BKFC. It's got some good kids coming in it. And yeah, don't get me wrong, there's going to be bumps along the way. There always is. Nobody goes undefeated. I'm not saying I'm the greatest, I'm not saying I'm the best, but I'll have a fight with anyone. And one thing I'll always have is a puncher's chance, because I believe I can bang. And I know that I know that when it comes to nitty gritty, I'm going to just stay in there. I'm going to try and stay in there. So, but again, you can never say with bare knuckle, it's not like boxing where it sometimes just turns into a fucking dogfight and one shot changes it. Bang. But I'm prepared to go into that dogfight. So I'm buzzing for it, mate. And it's wank that I've got this injury because I'm raring to go again already now.